Here's Johnny.
Hi guys, welcome back to another Budget Guitar Show, and today I am bringing back the Unsung Guitar Heroes videos. Yes, so today we will be talking about an unsung guitar hero whose career was cut all too short. One of my favourite guitar players, Mr. Steve New. Stephen Charles New was born on the 16th of May 1960. He rose to prominence during the time of punk rock in the UK. In 1975, the band that was to become the Sex Pistols were busy looking for a lead guitarist. They placed an advert in the Melody Maker music magazine which read, "Wanted WizKid guitarist, not worse looking than Johnny Thunders." One of the people that came along was 15-year-old Steve New, in tow with his teacher, who he was dating at the time. Steve must have impressed more than one member of the band at his audition, but unfortunately, due to Steve Jones rapidly gaining chops on the guitar, he was not needed. Steve's big break came in 1977, when Glenn Matlock, bass player of the Sex Pistols, upon leaving the group, decided to form his own group, which he would call Rich Kids. He remembered the young Steve from his time auditioning for the Pistols and decided that's the guy for this band. Also in that band was Rusty Egan on drums, who later went on to popularise the New Romantic movement, and Midge Ure on vocals and rhythm guitar. Midge would also have a story of almost joining the Sex Pistols, but that's for another video. EMI Records, suitably impressed with Glenn Matlock and his songwriting and musicianship, stated they would sign any band he brings to them. When Rich Kids were ready, he took the band to EMI, who immediately signed them, and their first single, Rich Kids, came out, a fantastic slice of power pop punk. This saw the band being on national television in the form of Top of the Pops and other TV shows of the day.
This week's chart countdown was with Donna Summer at 29. Here come the Rich Kids with Rich Kids. I'll tell you something.
On the 15th of August 1978, Steve New, along with Glenn Matlock, participated in the Sid Sods Off gig under the name The Vicious White Kids at the Electric Ballroom in Camden. This gig, a one-off featuring Rat Scabies from The Damned on the drums and of course Sid Vicious on lead vocals, was set up hastily to get Sid some funds before he moved over to America. Meanwhile, the Rich Kids business was not finished. They had a further 2 singles and 1 classic album, Ghosts of Princes in Towers, released by EMI. Unfortunately, at the time, the second 2 singles and the album did not sell very well, and during demos for what would have been a second album, EMI decided enough was enough, and the band ended up splitting. While erstwhile Rich Kid and founder Glenn Matlock went off to play with many different bands, Steve New followed suit. He was recording with Gen X, the recently rebranded Generation X, amongst others, and very soon he was joining Glenn Matlock on tour with the legendary Iggy Pop. Around this time, Iggy Pop was fixing to do his Soldier album. Steve New was playing on this record as well as on the live tour, but unfortunately due to an altercation with David Bowie, Steve New was kicked out of the band. Steve New went on to work with many luminaries of the time, including Chrissie Hynde, Johnny Thunders, Patti Paladin, and many more. In 2001, he released his own solo album called Here Comes Everybody. In the early 2000s, he formed a new experimental pop band called Beast Ella Beast with young singer Beatrice Brown. And it was around this time that Steve fully embraced his transvesticism, which he claimed he knew all about all along, but was rather ashamed of. Throughout his personal life, he had suffered with major drug and alcohol issues. Also around the time of this, Steve found out that he had what would turn out to be terminal cancer. And, quick as a flash, the rich kids jumped straight back in there to help out their fallen comrade. A gig was arranged at the O2 in Islington, featuring a lineup of many luminaries from back in the punk rock days, Viv Albertine of the Slits, Mick Jones, and many more, culminating in the original 4 rich kids getting back together one time only, live on stage, in support and to raise funds for Steve and his family. After this, in 2010, Steve made one final performance, recording with Glenn Matlock on his solo album Born Running in 2010. Unfortunately, Steve died of cancer on the 24th of May 2010. He was 50 years old. A funeral service was held in Islington and St Pancras Cemetery in East Finchley on the 11th of June 2010. Glenn Matlock, Tony James, among others, were pallbearers. While Steve's name might not be on everybody's tongues when they think of guitar players, he certainly was a fantastic musician, a great guitar player, and is remembered and loved by punk rockers all over the world. Okay guys, that was the story of Steve New, one of the great unsung guitar heroes. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up, as that really does help this channel to grow. We must thank our budget backers who make this show possible. They are of course right here as always, and if you wish to help out the channel, there are many ways you can do that, including watching another video. I'll be back with some more content very soon, so from me, stay safe, stay sane, but keep rocking.